is William Dalrymple. I'm a writer, and I brought you to one of my favourite places in Delhi, also one of the main places of the last Mughal, which is the summer palace of the last Mughal, Zafar Mahal, built by Bahadur Shah Zafar. This is his gate. And it's the last Mughal building. This is the final building before the whole Mughal dynasty goes up in flames in 1857. And it's one of the great hidden gems of Delhi, and I'm going to show you around it now. So when the Mughals were at their most powerful, they could build summer palaces up in the Himalayas, in Pakistan, in Kabul, all over the whole of South Asia. But by the end, all they had left was Delhi. And even the kind of immediate vicinity of Delhi was a bit troubled for them. So they built their final summer palace here in Mehrauli, which is on the outskirts of Delhi. By the time that this palace is built, the Mughals' political and economic power is totally gone. All that's left is their cultural prestige. And Zafar is the fabulous ambassador for that. He provoked what was really the last great renaissance of both writing and learning and art. But this is the reason that this place is so very sad. At the end, Zafar led what was the most enormous anti-colonial rebellion to take place anywhere in the world at any point in the 19th century. The 1857 Indian Uprising, or the Indian Mutiny, held in England, had Zafar as its unlikely talisman, as its unlikely leader. And by this stage, he was an 85-year-old Sufi poet. And his most famous last poem talks about how he didn't even get 5 yards of Indian soil. And this is the yards that he's thinking of. This empty grave was the one that he wanted to be buried in. Instead, he was shipped off on a bullock cart and sent overseas to Rangoon. One of the things I love about Delhi is just the sheer amount of old buildings lying around. It's one of those cities like Rome, like Istanbul, like Cairo, where there's an incredible amount of just the ruins of ages littered wherever you go, sitting on road junctions or getting in the way of the flyovers, or all the aspirations that a city like this has to be a modern city are continually being frustrated by the sheer amount of old rubble lying around, old places like this, which are forgotten, which no tourists ever go to. Steps are in a terrible way, all the plaster is peeling, and yet nothing has really damaged the beauty of this. This is the last of the Pearl mosques. There are about 4 or 5 across the Mughal Empire, most famous in the Red Fort. And yet it's very beautiful. The stuff I always loved, the ruins, the calligraphers in the old city, the Sufis in the shrines, the Qawwali singers, all that stuff of Indo-Islamic civilization is still very much here. But now you have a kind of really interesting modern capital growing up around that. And this juxtaposition of the past and the present of a vibrant modern capital with a big artistic community. And all this beauty and ruins lying neglected has always been a winning combination for me. Another thing I'd advise is to go just over the road to something far less glamorous, but often more moving, which is the Sufi shrine of Nizamuddin.
We are in the heart of Delhi. We are in a place called Nizamuddin Aulia. These crowded lanes lead to the most revered Sufi saint of Delhi. Mostly in India and Pakistan, you would find a lot of influence of Sufism, which is a mystical part of Islam. Apart from the Muslim folk, there are a lot of Hindu, Sikh followers who would come in, pray and go back. So the Sufi saints, the best part around them, their philosophy was, it was an all-inclusive philosophy.
Music is basically a universal language which connects people, all religion, all castes. Sufi is basically a person, a mediator who unites the human being to the God.
I would be presenting Sufi Kathak, and through the dance we will explore the different layers of how a dance of entertainment changes into a dance for the Almighty. Delhi plays a very important part in Sufism, being a seat of spiritual capital in India.